Hello, happy Thursday. I am Kylene with Rise and Shine Yoga, WeHeart.biz and Mako.biz. Um, Doing good here. I hope you guys are doing well. It was a nice warm week here in Missouri, so I was inspired to kind of think about spring cleaning a little bit and how we can apply that in our life physically as well as emotionally, what we can do and how it can really be another tool that we can access and really allow ourselves to achieve those goals we want or achieve the life that we want to live with more happiness and smiles and all that good stuff. So, um, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. But remember, we're here every week talking about gratitude because gratitude is a superpower. We all have the ability to access it. So, when we're in a state of gratitude, we're in that state of abundance, and therefore we start to have more to be thankful for in our life, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. You start paying attention to all the things in our life that we have to be thankful for. We woke up that morning, right? We have clean air to breathe, we have water to drink, we have a job, we have family, whatever it is. There's always things to be grateful for in our life. And we just have to make the conscious choice to see it. And it's a really good tool for us, especially when we're feeling like life is kind of hitting us. And especially right now with everything going on in the world, it's really easy to kind of get yourself kind of wrapped up into it. And just remembering what you have control over so you can stay in that positive mindset, the more hopeful mindset, solution focused mindset instead of doom and gloom. It just is a tool that we can access to get us in the state of mind that actually produces good results instead of more negative. So that's why we're here every week talking about gratitude. So let's check in here at the comments. Good day from Maricopa where it's 80 plus degrees. Wow. It's nice and warm in Arizona already. You know what? Yesterday we set a record here and we were 82 degrees in Missouri. Pretty amazing. It was absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. It felt great. It was funny because last week, not funny, but last week we had an ice and snowstorm. So the weather here just really fluctuates. So you just kind of have to wait around and then new weather comes and we get 80-degree days. So I'll take it. So that's why I wasn't here last week. We actually were on the road. It was kind of a sketchy drive over to Kansas City, but Aaron, Lewis, and I headed over to the DAX show in Kansas City where we had a booth for our success group, and we were able to chat with some pretty amazing people and really share what our success group is all about. Just the overall support of small business owners and really helping them put the foundation pieces in place so they can continue to grow. So it was pretty awesome. Our son Lewis had a blast. He really loved there was a laser there. So the guy running the booth, I can't think of his name right now, but anyway, he would make little cutouts for Lewis, and he thought it was the greatest thing in the whole wide world. So anyway, it was a really good trip. I'm really glad that we got there safe and was able to meet so many fun people. So that was a little bit about our trip, and that's why I wasn't here last week. So I apologize for not being here last week. Oh, good afternoon. Good to see you on here. Hey, Cindy. Good afternoon. At lunch meeting, have a happy Thursday. Oh, thanks for checking in. You're so good about that. Um, yeah, it is a great Thursday. It's a little bit cooler here today, but it's still the sun is shining and I feel spring. And so why not use this energy for us as to propel forward and allow new growth to happen and allow new things to come into play. When I think of spring, I think of transformation. I think of, like I said, growth. I think of shedding old, and then bringing up new life. So that's kind of what I think about spring. And I'm sure we've all heard of spring cleaning before. Um, it really allows us to clean up spaces that's not serving us anymore and allows for more to come in, more growth to come in, more energy to come in. So you're making space for something new instead of staying stuck in the old. And I can tell you, I cleaned out my closet. This wasn't spring cleaning, but I cleaned it out. I think it was like a month or two ago, and it felt so good. I was hanging on to so many clothes, and I don't know if it was something that made me feel comfortable, but I had all the what if clothes. Well, when I get back to that size clothes, or well, what if I go do this? And I haven't wore some of the things I had for 10 plus years. I'm just had to get rid of it. And once I did, it's so much easier to keep my closet organized again. It's so much easier to know what I actually have instead of it getting buried in there. So it just felt so good. And I'm sure we've all had those experiences where you took the time, you got organized, you cleaned out a space so you could and you get that feeling, you get that positive feeling that you're allowing space for something new and that clutter is gone, and it's refreshing. It's like you can breathe lighter. All those good positive feelings happen when you take the time to do that. Um, so that's why, spring is such a powerful time of year. If we can use it really to our advantage, as um, the buds on the trees start forming and the grass starts coming in, and all those wonderful things that happen in spring, all that new growth, we can apply it in our life, so we can make space for new. um, Dean wrote, spring is here when the sap buckets go on the trees. Ooh, that's right, you're out in the east. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great sign, and super fun too. um, yeah, so here it's just I feel like we can use this energy, and that's what I wanted to talk about here. So some of the ways that we can do that, we can set a positive intention. So like I said, it can be physically, but it's also emotionally. What thoughts do we have? What thought patterns are we hanging on to, or habits are we holding on to that's really not allowing us to move forward, not allowing us to really believe in that and have that abundance mentality? What can we let go of that's not serving us? So let's talk about that first, the actual emotional side of spring cleaning. And I just want to go through quickly the formula E plus R equals O. So the Jack Canfield methodology, there's event plus your response equals your outcomes in life. So the events, we all know they happen, and we really don't have much control over those events. They just keep happening. Life is just happening, but we get to decide how we respond to it to get some outcomes that we really, really, really desire in our life. And if we're not getting those outcomes that we want, let's say we're feeling stuck, or we're just not growing, or we're, again, stuck is the word that keeps coming up. We have to go back to those responses and what habits you've created for yourself, because if you don't change how you're responding, you're going to continue to get the exact same thing and never really fully allowing your gifts to shine, never fully allowing you to have those feelings of fulfillment, and not wondering what if, and just knowing that there's more out there, but you're not going for it. So what if you change those responses? And remember, you have control over three things: what you visualize. So when you sit back and you think about what it is in life that you want to achieve, whatever that may be. Maybe it's a new car, for example. So when you sit and visualize it, imagine that it's already happened for you. Imagine yourself in your new car. Imagine yourself at the dealership signing the papers for your car. Imagine it sitting in your garage. Imagine you driving down the road. Really allow yourself to believe that that's possible for you. And then that starts to really allow yourself to know that this is something that you can achieve. So you get to control those thoughts, and that controls how you respond to certain events to allow you to stay on track to get the outcomes that you want. Um, you have control over for your response, your actions. So the things that you do, things that you say, things that you can change easily. So if you're um, really wanting to get yourself in the mindset every morning, let's say, of a gratitude mindset, you could make the choice to, in your actions, to write down the things that you're grateful for every morning, and do that, and that will help you get to those outcomes that you're desiring. But if you just say, "Oh, I'll get to that later," you might not really fully benefit from the power of setting that morning intention, that morning gratitude practice. So keep that in mind, that you have control over those things. So your thoughts, the things you visualize, as well as the actions that you do, and and that's how you respond to events. So, and then you can get those outcomes that you want. So, what's not serving us? So, if you take a moment here, maybe you go on a walk today, maybe you just sit outside and the sun's shining where you are, sit outside in the sun and just reflect back. What is something I can let go of in my life? What's not serving me anymore? I always start my yoga practices with, you know, take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, just let go of whatever is distracting you from this moment. And that goes the same when if you just go outside for a little bit and take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, think about the things that you're hanging on to that's really not serving you. It's not allowing you to grow. It's not allowing you to move forward. It's not allowing that abundance to come into your life because you're hanging on to a thought pattern that's really something that maybe you need to let go of, to allow for new growth and movement in your life. um, so that's what I would challenge you to do this spring. So emotionally, just really come back to gratitude. If you need help again getting into that space, maybe before you really start to allow yourself to be quiet and see what comes up, maybe you start with going into an attitude of gratitude. Maybe you just sit outside, soak up the sun, or wherever is your peaceful spot, and think about all the wonderful things that you have around you to be thankful for in your life, and get yourself in that positive headspace before you really move into thinking about, what am I holding on to in my thought patterns that's really allowing me to stay stuck? What's not allowing me to move forward? So that's what I would encourage you to do for this spring. But then there's the physical side of things, the things that most of us probably think of when we think of spring cleaning, what are physical spaces. So when you come into a room and there's piles, or there's just a lot of incompletes, that's creating clutter in our mind. That's taking up energy from us and allowing us to feel those negative feelings. Sometimes it can create anxiety, it can create frustration, it can create anger, it can create almost sometimes sadness that, I have all these things to do and I can't finish them. And then again, you feel stuck. And I know right now for me, it's I my office is okay. It looks fine over here, but I do have a stack of things on this side that you can't see that I need to go through. And these are my incompletes. And I've found that when I come in here and I look at this pile, it creates this I don't overwhelming feeling. And I hate having that feeling, because I am such a positive person and with positive emotions. And then I see this and I can feel my energy changing when I look at that. So for me, that is going to be my spring cleaning for my office in this space. I want to really create a space for myself that's energizing, that's inspiring, that allows me to, you know, playful out and feel fulfilled in what I'm doing instead of being distracted by this pile and that pile. I don't know about you guys. Does anyone want to share any of your incompletes or any of your um, areas of your life, physically or emotionally, that you need to kind of clear out and allow for that new growth to happen? Feel free to share in the comments here. um, it's just sometimes it's just not serving us. And so one trick that you could do if this is something that is important to you and you want to take advantage of the change of seasons, create a positive intention for yourself. And maybe you just write that wherever it is, and then that can be your reminder when you go into those spaces of what you really truly want. And then that could potentially be your motivating force to get you just to do one thing maybe on that pile that day, or maybe go through a mindset meditation of creating some positive thoughts. Maybe it's the attitude of gratitude, or like I've talked about, the rampage of appreciation, where you just pause for a moment and you look around at all the amazing things that you have right in front of you. Maybe it's just being more intentional about doing those things. There are little tricks that we can do that really are um, truly powerful and allow us to continue to go forward, to free up that space so we can allow for that new growth to come in. Um, so the benefits again, it just enhances our well-being. It allows us to feel free, feel more positivity, not weighed down heavy by all the incompletes, by the messes, by the negative thought patterns that we might have. We can take control and we can use this energy and really allow us to keep moving forward and achieve more happiness and joy in our life. So, hopefully, you can um, use that positive energy, set your positive intention of what you want, and just think about your life and the things in your physical environment as well as emotionally that you're ready to get rid of. You're ready to shed. You're ready to allow for new growth and new thought patterns and new and exciting space that you're freeing up by allowing these things to go away. Um, in Jack Canfield's book, I wrote it down because I wasn't sure if I'd remember it, but so forgive me, I'm going to read it. It says, complete the past so the present can show up more fully. So for me, I really like that. It's like you're hanging on to something, and that hanging on is stalling you from allowing what's right in front of you or what's in the future to come to you, because you're back here, but life is wanting to take you up here, but you're stuck right here. So I'll read that one more time. Complete the past so the present can show up more fully. And I think I might write that down a couple different spaces, so I that can be my reminder to keep growing, to keep learning, to keep freeing up some thought patterns that I'm still working through, to that's not serving me, that's not allowing me to live full out with sharing all of my gifts with the world, and being kinder to myself. It's so important, especially when you're working on new things and growing. You really want to give yourself compassion and grace as you go through them, because there are going to be some ups and downs, and that allows you to, I guess, experience more positive energy from it, from whatever experience it may be, because then that allows you to learn and grow so you can continue to move forward and not continue to go backwards, get discouraged, and then get stuck again like we started. So, um, let me pull up the call to achievement here. Um, so here's your call to achievement. So take some time for yourself this next week, whether you're going for a walk or you're just sitting outside, wherever it is for you. Identify one area in your life that you can focus on this spring, just to clear out some space to allow for more growth and change. So maybe it's a physical thing Maybe it's your office, maybe it's your closet, maybe it's your kitchen, whatever it is, focus on that one area and just do some spring cleaning and then enjoy the benefits that you get after having it be organized and getting rid of all the things that don't serve you anymore. Come back to that. And if it's an emotional thing, maybe it's setting that intention for yourself and reminding yourself of the E plus R equals O in that R and how much power we have in our responses to get those outcomes we want. So if these thought patterns that we have that aren't serving us, it's not allowing us to grow emotionally, then maybe that's where you need to focus your energy on. And I'm happy to chat with anyone if you want to reach out to me by messenger, email, even if I'd schedule a phone call. If you want to dive a little bit deeper into the emotional side of how those thought patterns can really hold us back and some ideas there, please reach out. I'm happy to help out there. But just make room for the new. Spring is an exciting time. I know we're not quite in spring yet, but in my mind, we're in spring with the weather change and the sun is shining. And I want to use this energy and I want to share it with you all to hopefully inspire you, plant a seed with you so you can, clear out some clutter in your life so you can experience more joy and positivity and growth in your life as well. So that's your call to achievement. So let's go back here. And so remember, attitude of gratitude. When you're in a state of gratitude, you're in that state of abundance, and therefore you have more to be thankful for. So just always remember that you have the power to go into that excuse me, excuse me, that mindset of um, gratitude. You can just sit in one place every morning, just write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Every night before you go to bed, write down, think about the things that you have in your life to be grateful for. And then get yourself in that positive headspace as you really think about your environment physically and emotionally and the things that you need to make room for and let go of the things that aren't serving you. So that's it for today for Thankful Thursday. If you guys have questions, again, reach out. If there's anything you want to talk about, reach out. I'm happy to talk about just about anything on here, as long as it's helping us live a more fulfilled life with more gratitude. We'll chat about it all day long. So that's it for today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thursday and weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.